Imagine a capable person stepping up to speak, then hearing their own voice shake and strain unexpectedly. Minutes later, the same person replays the moment and wonders why confidence disappeared when it mattered. Performance often follows an internal picture of the self, not the effort someone tries to force. When that picture suggests failure is likely, the mind protects it by steering behavior toward familiar limits. This matters because talent can stay hidden, while avoidance becomes normal, and opportunities quietly shrink over time. Even positive changes can feel useless when the inner picture refuses to update after new evidence appears. Someone can fix an external problem and still feel defective, then continue acting as if nothing changed. Another person might collect praise but keep expecting rejection, so they hold back and confirm that expectation. These ideas explain how self-image, goals, imagination, and calm training combine to create reliable results. This video is inspired by Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and you can subscribe to practice these tools each week. Self-image is the mental picture of who you believe yourself to be at present. This picture sets boundaries for what feels possible, and behavior tends to align with it. When the picture is negative, effort turns into strain, and mistakes feel like proof rather than feedback. Positive self-image, on the other hand, fosters resilience and openness to learning. Individuals with a positive self-image are more likely to see challenges as opportunities for growth. They are less likely to give up when faced with obstacles, viewing them as temporary setbacks. Conversely, a negative self-image can lead to self-doubt and a fear of failure. This fear can paralyze individuals, making it difficult to take risks or try new things. Overcoming a negative self-image requires conscious effort and often professional support. With time and effort, however, individuals can develop a more positive and empowering self-image. A success mechanism is a built-in guidance system that helps you move toward a chosen goal. It functions like a steering process, comparing your current position to the goal and making adjustments through feedback. Without a clear goal, the mechanism cannot aim, causing energy to scatter and progress to feel random. With a clear goal, small corrections accumulate, allowing the path to zigzag while still moving forward. Consider learning a new skill where early attempts may look awkward, but each try provides valuable information for the next attempt. In contrast, someone who quits after one error treats feedback as a verdict and shuts down the guidance system. This is why setbacks matter less than direction, as the mechanism uses mistakes to correct the course. It also explains why planning is important, as the brain works better with a target than vague wishes. Define one measurable goal for the next 30 days and write what success looks like in one sentence. Then, review progress weekly, note what worked, adjust one variable and keep the goal picture unchanged. Imagination sets the goal picture that your automatic mechanism works toward, even when conscious effort feels uncertain. Creative imagination means building clear mental scenes of the person you want to be and the result you desire. Since the nervous system responds to mental pictures, fear pictures can trigger tension before anything happens. Calm pictures can trigger steadier breathing and smoother timing, making correct action easier to repeat. A performer can rehearse failure in the mind, walk on stage tense, and then confirm the feared result. Another performer rehearses composure, pictures one clean first minute, and enters with a body prepared for that script. This matters because self-image changes through experienced feelings, not through lectures delivered to yourself. Repeated mental rehearsal gives the mind a new normal, and actions begin matching that new normal. Practice a short daily rehearsal where you see yourself handling one challenge with calm posture, voice, and attention. If you want more rehearsals and practical prompts, you can subscribe to keep training this skill in daily life. When negative feedback becomes excessive, it can turn into inhibition and avoidance, leading to a failure mechanism. Negative feedback should guide adjustment, not freeze the system, as it provides information about errors. If criticism is taken personally, the self-image shrinks, and the mind anticipates failure before even starting. When feedback is seen as information, the mind remains flexible, and the next attempt is viewed as a test rather than a threat. One person might make a public mistake, replay it for weeks, and then avoid the situation that could retrain confidence. Another person might notice the same mistake, correct one detail, and return quickly so the error doesn't become a fixed label. Rational thinking helps by separating facts from false meanings and breaking the spell of old assumptions. This clears space for a healthier self-image as the mind is no longer hypnotized by one harsh memory. When a painful thought appears, name it as an opinion, list one counterfact, and decide the next useful action. Use feedback as a compass, not a verdict, and keep going with calm repetition until the new pattern feels normal. Relaxation allows new beliefs and habits to form, as tension keeps the old response locked in place. Physical relaxation reduces interference, allowing the automatic creative mechanism to coordinate movements and thoughts smoothly. When the body is tense, effort increases errors, and the mind interprets these errors as proof of weakness. When the body is relaxed, learning becomes easier, and confidence grows from repeated success experiences. Emotional scars can keep the system braced, especially when resentment is carried as a constant inner argument. A person may forgive only in words, remain tense inside, and keep reliving the same conflict through automatic reactions. Clearing those scars supports self-image change, as the mind stops expecting harm and starts allowing better outcomes. A habit of happiness can be trained by choosing constructive interpretations and practicing them until they feel natural. Use a brief relaxation routine each day, then delay your response to irritation long enough to choose a better reaction. Commit to one new habit for 21 days and track it daily, then build the next habit from that base. The core shift is treating personality as a programmable pattern shaped by images, habits, and repeated experiences. When self-image changes, behavior follows, and life stops being limited by old labels and fears. You saw how a goal picture activates a success mechanism, and how feedback guides correction instead of collapse. You also saw how imagination and rehearsal train the nervous system, making calm performance more automatic over time. These mechanisms compound into steadier work, clearer relationships, and less wasted energy spent fighting yourself each day. They also reduce anxiety because the next step becomes a small correction rather than a dramatic test of worth. Start with one target, one daily rehearsal, and one relaxation practice that lowers interference and improves learning. Then use rational thinking to challenge old conclusions and treat setbacks as information you can use immediately. With repetition, a new self-image becomes familiar, and the guidance system begins steering toward better outcomes naturally. If these tools help you act with more calm direction, you can subscribe and follow new exercises that build confidence.